The sad thing is, I am relatively sure there is no way I'm going to be able to keep up this output once. Like, I'm doing this just because I'm excited about Walkerman for the most part, but oh man, I know that at some point I'm just going to crash. Okay, let's get to work. A little bit more subdued today, today was long. Oh my god, what was up with today? But I'm grateful to be bringing you more Walkerman. I hopefully will remember to do the giveaway. Scale Mail, the developers of this game, were very, very, very kind in giving me the key. Although what I may do, and I've thought about it after I tweeted about it earlier, is that I may just hold off on the giveaway entirely for now and do it when the official review is out. So, a slight change, and that's why I didn't tweet about it. But we will see. We will see. So, I sincerely need to go ahead and, yeah. Ooh. Anyway, let me make sure I press the right button here. Alright, good evening everybody. Thank you for coming out. I have so far been enjoying this a lot. It is very fun to read, and I'm always for games that are fun to read, both aloud and just kind of staring at. But we will be including a link for Walkerman in the description below. So if you like what you see, don't just watch me play it. Go and get a copy. Tell the developers that JP sent you from VMs Now, and that you want to support them and support this game, because so far I haven't fully started on 2017 visual novels, but I think I'm comfortable saying this is one of the better ones. It has been a lot of fun, and I certainly cannot complain. So, let me see if it will let me go. And are we... Yeah. I can't believe everything is actually working right today. You know, I knew my trying morning lessons will come in handy one day. I just didn't know it would be today. Alright, let's do this thing. Hold on. I know I just said let's do this thing, but I completely forgot. I should grab the link just in case. I would like it. I would like it. Alrighty. Alright, now. Deep breath. And the harbor district is balanced on what might as well be the edge of the world. And the horizon's balanced razor is a welcome sight after the formicary layout of the inner city. What do you mean they gave up? This place doesn't look so bad. Rustic, perhaps. Some of the older residences look to be wattle and daub, but the atmosphere is hardly threatening. Well, I don't come out here ever, but I thought this place was supposed to be lawless. Only a few years ago, you used to hear about how they were murdering each other every day, Bora said, and he seems almost disappointed. Of course. You think I should ask anybody for directions? I don't see many other options. Someone is coming this way. Another Walkerman by the look of his pouches. He regards me with interest. And that is hardcore. What are you doing here? He asks in a crackling voice, as if he's got a throat full of pebbles. Bro. I should not call bro. Okay, breath stammers. What are y'all doing out here? The poucher attempts to enunciate himself more clearly. Quick note. In the last stream, I said I would look into whether or not the song they were playing when we first got to Midgard had any other historical note other than being connected to the Confederate States of America. But the more I played this game, and from what I saw, I'm starting to think that Midgard is just based on the CSA. And we'll have to see, of course, there are a few things that feel a little out of place, to say it lightly. But it will be interesting to see exactly what the connection is between this and any actual things that happen in history. The accents are all Southern, which is why I have such an easy time voicing most of these characters. I'm looking for my cousin, I say with a step forward. You know of any raiders by the name of Gregor, son of Olaf, running around these parts? He ignores my question and points at my pouches. Who are you? You walking? Yeah, I'm a Walkerman too. Name's Jorgen. And yes, the correct pronunciation is Jorgen. I'm going to call him Jorgen though, because that's just what I do. The Walkerman rubs at the side of his face, apparently not interested in introducing himself. Bora apparently appears noticeably uncomfortable in the pouch's presence, his posture hunched and his eyes downcast. And with good reason. The poucher looks like he's seen a couple of scraps, judging by the deep scars embedded across his face. Gregor, biggin' fella, heavy for the boys? Yeah, he's a big guy. You know him? The poucher lets out a grunt like chips with slate clicking together. I am him! Never mind. That would have been funny. I think he's living down Rybouts, he said, then waves an arm towards the cottage by the water. He lives there? Ah, but don't start walking for you talking siffin'. What the hell is that even? But don't start walking for you talk to siffin' me. You hear? No problem. Y'all come on down to the poorhouse tonight. White Whale. Ask for siffin' bold. We'll talk. That is... my brain. That was like... The poucher takes off toward the house adjacent to the seawall and up the stairs of his porch, leaving Bra and I to ourselves. Yeah, Sif and Bold. They're both Walkermen. That one's Bode, a bog hopper. A bog hopper, and likely a tomb worshipper as well. I should have guessed from his accent that he was from Hibernia. Heard he used to be a mercenary before he started walking. He's the only one they say caught those alchemists. He's the one they say caught those alchemists some years back. Put on my glasses this before I lose myself. And Sif, that's a girl's name. Oh. Kind of messed myself up there. Yeah, but I wouldn't say that to his face. He's this tall guy who wears a long coat everywhere, even in the summer. He's been walking the nights here forever, too. Anyway, he trails off as we start down the road again. Mind if I come along? Sure, why not, I answer. Though he's already walking beside me, so I take it he knew he was coming. Aces! He ran out of his way for me, which is a rarity among freemen. Least I can do is let him rest his feet a while. God, this game is pretty. I rap on the wood a few times. And a moment later, the door tilts open suspiciously. Gregor? I ask, peering through the crack. It's me, your cousin. Ah! Then the door swings wide and Gregor grips me in a bear hug. He's even bigger than I remember. Hairier too. He's practically grown a pelt since I last saw him. Jorgen, it's been ages, he exclaims, setting me back on my feet. And who's this? My cousin asks, leaning an elbow against the door frame. This is Bror. He helped me find the place. Bror, son of Declan. Declan Lumber and Platinum. Nice to meet you. Well, come on in, Gregor grins, ushering us inside. Once inside, I drop my pack beside the doorway. The place is an absolute mess. Articles of clothing litter the bald wooden floor like a spoiled battlefield. I take it you're gonna ask to stay here. Yeah, I'm walking the nights now. Knew it when I saw the pouches. Well, you can stay as long as you want. We got a lot of catching up to do. Gregor knocks some junk off of his chair and sits on it backwards, resting his elbows on the backrest. And you there, Bror? Bror, I live by North Market. I was just helping a raider out. Well, any friend of Jorgen's is a friend of mine. Why don't we all have a drink later, at the White Whale? Sure. Yeah, a poucher named Bode asked me to go there tonight anyways, I add. Oh, he and Sif are a big help to the boys out here. Boys? You know, the boys. The harbor boys. Bror's mouth opens in a little over surprise. Don't be like that, Gregor groans. Folks give us a bad name. No, I didn't mean. Relax, kid. We're a legitimate organization. Legitimate organization. Why does every criminal ever say that about their organization? What exactly are you doing for this legitimate organization, I ask, and go about unfastening the buckles on my hauberk. I'm a heavy, duh. Well, we could have guessed that by the fact that he's noticeably bigger than everybody else. Gregor flexes his bicep, testing it with his other hand. I'm no thug. You could consider me a private security contractor of sorts. Legitimate organization. You ain't getting in over your head here, Gregor. I pull the hauberk over my head and toss it on the top of my pack. The past 2 days' worth of sweat is ingrained into the fabric of my shirt, and it hangs off me as I've been swimming in it. That's not a very comfortable description. Jorgen, please, Gregor says and bats a hand dismissively. I've been with the boys for years now, and they're the best thing that's ever happened to me. It got real bad after the raids, didn't it, you remember? Working for the boys practically fed our whole small house while everyone else was living off roots and berries. Damn economy. He sighs. Damn economy? What's economy? New words folks have thrown around. The economy, Roar pipes in. I've heard it too. Means how things are these days in a business way. It's an academical word. Academical. You're a learned man now or something, Gregor? Is he supposed to be an idiot? Nah, of course I'm smart enough to know I don't know nothing. Half the folks around here have some harebrained theory on what to do about the damn thing. Nothing's working though. City's a mess. And Crone knows the noble kind ain't gotten off their asses and fixed the damn economy yet. In fact, I reckon we're worse off with all those mouthfuls asking for second helpings up in the noble quarter. That's another upside of living out here in the harbor, by the way. No noblekin in sight. I peel my filthy shirt off my chest and start rummaging through my pack for a fresh one while Gregor names off a few more advantages of being a free man on his nail-bitten fingers. No braves hassling you, the sea air is good for your lungs, and Gregor trails off. He was running out of fingers anyway. Didn't reckon you'd be living out here on your own. How do you even manage to get the coin to buy your freedom? Gregor just laughs. Buy it? Why bother? I ain't seen hide no hair of old brave Sir Svarcirk in years. I had no problem with this the entire first stream. Now I'm having problem with Svarcirk. Yeah. I blame Wednesday. Oh no, Gregor, don't tell me you're a runaway. Gregor shrugs. I think our master wrote me off as a loss. Not that I care. Raids are over anyway. And thank the mother for that. The comment strikes me as odd, remembering our childhood together. Oh, how he used to train for his from sunup to sundown in the old alleyway, swinging his stick at piles of trash. Thought you were all rearing to go. Yeah, well, I had a change of heart. I was almost picked for the last raid, if you remember. Another year older, and that could have been the death of me. Besides, why would I risk my life, let alone take somebody else's, so some brave fuck... I don't know if I can get away with that on YouTube. I'll have to check back with y'all later. In the meantime, some brave sir can go and hawk the loot. Stupid. I'm glad the raid's ended. You wouldn't join a raid, but you'd mug your fellow raiders? I venture. Come on, jargon. We never did that shit. Well, maybe, but only a little. And not me, not anymore. Most of us are longshoremen, you know. The Harbor Boys is just an organization for making sure we all get paid fairly for our in-the-States work. Oh great, it's worse than a gang, it's a union. And we collect protection fees from the harbor folks. Nothing wrong with that either. We really cleaned the place up too. Kicked all the pimps out. This is one of the nicer neighborhoods in the city-state now that the boys are in charge. I fished through my rug for another shirt as Gregor continued making his pitch. And we provide all kinds of services. Pouches, for instance. Looksy has those two on the payroll. Oh, that reminds me, Jorgen, if you're walking the nights now, then I'll introduce you to Looksy. I'll put in a good word for you. Maybe you can walk for us too. I don't know. I finally locate another shirt and toss it on, rolling the sleeves up to my elbows. Dad's advice about not getting involved with the boys rings in my ears. Come on. Listen, Gregor, I ain't fixing to get in trouble here. Gregor spreads his arm dejectedly. Nah. Standing up from his chair, my cousin comes around and puts a big hairy arm on my shoulder. It ain't gotta work for us, but we can do each other a huge favor here. The boys can help you get settled in Midgard, and you can help us with a fox problem we've been having. A fox problem, I pause. The other two pouches ain't handling it? They've been looking into it, sure, but they've got their hands full right now. They might as well come over and say boo to Looksy anyway, seeing as how you're going to be living in his harbor after all. He's probably right. And if I'm going to be staying with Gregor, I should step off on the right foot with him. Alright, I'll hear him out, but I ain't making any promises. Gregor slapped me on the back, a little too hard. I can just picture Jorgen stumbling into a wall. There we go. Come on now, let's go see Looksy. You can come along if you want, bro. Aces. What? Yeah, I'm coming too. Why? Networking. It can never hurt to meet new people, you know? Like my dad always says, you can't live off yesterday's sales. Networking? It's a dockside gang. Damn Freeman. I shoot Gregor a look, but he doesn't seem to care. I thought gangs would be less casual about meeting their crime bosses. Nothing'll happen, I promise. I'll have a chat with Looksy, and then we'll go for drinks and catch up on old times. I can't English! I retrieve the load-bearing belt from my gear pile and wrap it around my waist, adjusting his pouches to sit comfortably on my thighs. Fine, I give in, and Gregor puts his hand on Gregor and I and gently pushes us out the door. My cousin leads us along the waterfront and up Sea Street's tail. The boulevard's end is not but dust, its cobbles cracked to ruin by legions of passing cars. We hook around a thatched cottage near the sea gate and enter a broad alleyway overgrown with weeds. Our destination is a dilapidated building that looks like it might have once been the harbor master's office. Oh great, this is just getting better and better. Just have to turn it down a little bit, just a smidgen. This is the place. Gregor knocks on the door and calls out. It's Gregor! There's no response, but I can hear muted shouting from within. Gregor slams on the door with the meat of his fist. Looksy, everything alright in there? Our crime boss is a woman. Wait. She may have bigger arms than us. Oh, crap. I wonder if we get to romance her. Nah. The door swung open into Gregor's face as the red-haired woman pushed past us in a hurry. That would have been too obvious. A little man emerges a heartbeat later, shaking his fist and cussing after her. A moth-eaten bandana is tied over one side of his face, with some grievous-looking wounds poking out from underneath. And don't come back, you bitch! New lady friend, Looksy? Greggy rubs the bridge of his nose, which now sports a red imprint off the door's edges. Red imprint of the door's edges. Her? Looksy laughs. Gregor, you ain't going to believe. That long-legged hair chaser. Do I have to keep saying this? That long-legged hair chaser bitch. First, she barges in here without so much as a good afternoon. Then she starts trying to offer her services to me as, get this, as a Walkerman. His laughs are sharp as staccato, like a dog barking. Yeah, that's a Walkerman. That shit you not, Gregor. That herd chaser girl thinks she's a poucher. Got the pouches and everything. I turn to take another look, but she's already gone. That's great, but listen, Fawn. She must have heard about that fox problem we've been having, so she's trying to pitch herself to me. Swan, I should have let her have it, you think? Should have let her get her dumbass killed. Looksy, or is it Swan, punches his fist into his other palm. Like she's just gonna hike up her skirt and... Oh, that's another thing. She was wearing pants. Did you see? Maybe men wear the dresses out in the fins, you think? Swan! What? This is my cousin Jorgen. He's a Walkerman and he wants to have a go at the fox problem. I didn't agree to it, but I'll bite my tongue for now. Oh? He looks me up and down for a moment and extends a hand. Hello there, Jorgen. The name's Vanir, but folks around these parts call me Looksy. Yeah, he looks completely, totally honest. Like, just completely trustworthy. I would trust him with my life. Hold on. Getting back. Yeah. Knife wounds and shady nicknames. I feel as though I stepped into something. Jorgen, son of Newt, I reply automatically as I grip his palm. And my heart skips a beat as I hear my own words. But thankfully Looksy doesn't dwell on it. Son of Newt? Sounds kind of familiar. Oh, don't worry about getting hassled out here in a harbor, poucher. We're the friendly type. He passes a glance over my pouches and turns to Roar. And who's this? Roar barrels past Gregor and I and grips Looksy's palm with both hands. Roar, son of Declan. Declan Lumber and Platinum. Nice to meet you. He's a friend of Jorgen's, Gregor explains. Looksy turns back to me, apparently disinterested. Well, we certainly appreciate all the help we can get. There's two other pouchers who walk the nights out here, but I think we could always use a third. The pair already got their work cut out for them, with the solstice coming up and all. Can't hardly get a word with them these days. He rubs the back of his neck. There ain't no other pouchers left in Midgard either. Having three around would be a sweet deal. All y'all don't have to go through the cult when you're working for us, you understand? We keep it under the table. There are only two pouchers left in the whole city-state? That's all I know. Old man Goss and the skinny guy with the arm tattoos, they left a few seasons ago. So now it's down to just Sif and Bood. And you'd make three. As I'd fear, nobody from Dad's era is still around. I was hoping that I'd get to see some of them again. Well, I reckon I can help you with your fox problem. You want to tell me more about it? Looksy glances about, then draws his voice low. Y'all mind finding somewhere private to have this conversation, Raiders? Gregor puts his hands up sheepishly. Nah, that's alright, Luxie. Me and Bro here are gonna get a head start on our palace. Jorgen will be at the well when you're done, the big place next to the seawall. See ya, Bora says with a wave as they wander off. Luxie watches the pair's backs until they're out of earshot, then turns to me. His dimming mood expresses the conversation and turns towards darker subjects. Yes, sir, we got quite the fox coming around here at nights, Luxie begins. Yep. But you see, the problem with this particular fox, you see, well... Ah, hell, we got one of them around, he says and drops a semicircle over his heart. Real nasty one, too. Tell me everything you know about it. I try to feign confidence as best I can. Luxie doesn't need to know that I've only got one under my belt, or that I only bested it by dumb luck. Well, the biggest problem is that you can't see the damn thing. I experienced it firsthand, you know? It took me and one of my boys by surprise on our way back from the well a couple of nights ago. Luxie leans in, close, drawing his voice down to a whisper. It ain't been dark too long, so we wasn't thinking nothing of it, you know? Just walking along, as drunk as herd chasers when it happened. Or it's something coming towards us from the alleyway, so my boy pulls out his dagger, and then it was like his chest just explodes, like he'd been run through, and something was tearing at him, but I just couldn't see what it was doing. And then I noticed his blood was hanging in the air, you know, like it was stuck to something. That's when I started being able to see the damn thing, because it just had so much blood on it. Luxie absentmindedly draws another semicircle over his heart. I figured it out pretty quickly then. We found a pile of sailor clothes about half a turn on the moon ago, but we just kind of ignored it. That was shit stupid in hindsight, you'd think, but none of the captains went asking around, so we just figured it was nothing weird. Like maybe one of them had just left his laundry out to dry and forgot it or something. I mean, we hadn't heard of nobody else getting taken. But anyways, the reason the pair can't get it is because they can't see it. Luxie exhales heavily and shrugs, which I take as my cue to lead the conversation. Oh, man. So we go from really, really simple, hey, this one is saying your name and he knows exactly who you are, to, yeah, you can't see it. Hopefully you will live through an encounter, but we aren't making any promises. Okay. What did it look like is a stupid question. Well, is it a stupid question? I mean, if blood was on it, it probably has some kind of features. Well, starting off the top hasn't hurt us yet. What did you do after you saw it? He stares at me incredulously for a heartbeat. Well, of course I ran. Think I'm gonna stick around and wait for it to start on me next? No, I didn't mean. I meant to ask if you saw what happened after that. No, but I bet I know where it went. Back into this alley. Luxie gestures down the length of an alleyway. It runs parallel to C Street and spans the entire distance from shore to the seawall. It appears to serve as a sort of community backyard. This is where it likes to hide. It sneaks around in this alley, looking to catch some of the boys out in the evenings. I can even hear it bumping around at night from my office. And this is where we found the sailor's clothes, too. Oh, and there's something else weird going on now. Just started a few days ago. Once the sun sets, catch me kill me vines start overrunning the alleyway. Big. Screw it, I'm just gonna say it. Big fuckers, too. Thicker than your arm. They're gone by morning, but it's been getting worse lately. I need this taken care of quickly, Raider. Some of the boys are starting to panic. Now we'll go to what it looked like. You get a good look at it? Not really. Like I said, you can't see the damn thing. You can hear it bumping around at night, though. And I've seen Sif in his alleyway during the day. Sif ever mention anything about it? Anything that can help point me in the right direction? Luxie rubs his stubble on his chin. He did ask me some things. Wanted to know about the boys when they walk home from the well at night. Like, well, for the past quarter moon, we had a lot of boys walking home from the well nearly every night without no trouble. But some boys, it just won't leave them alone. It'll pace outside their doors all night waiting for them to come out so it can take them away. I think Sif was fixing to reckon why it goes after them, and it went after me and Aspen. Y'all figure anything out? Nah. So it sounds like, I bet this is one of their victims. Maybe one of their early victims that turned into a thing. Tell me more about these giant catch me's. There ain't much to say, Raider. They start appearing at night, but they're gone in the morning. And I think they're starting to spread too. And maybe that's just me, but I swear they're starting to creep. They've started creeping out beyond the alleyways lately. He's entirely correct, though I refrain from mentioning it again. The weird grows like a pox of pustules that burst and bleed their febrile ichor into our world. Ew. Or at least that's what Dad compared it to. And for what I heard of the city-state's condition so far, Midgard must be leper-like after night falls. Alright, Asmund. Tell me about Asmund. He was a good raider. The girls liked him because he had the old sweet face going on, and he dressed all nice and stuff. He was flat broke most of the time, but he always looked nice, rings and whatnot. Aspen was the kind of raider that wore jewelry. Some of the boys took to the stuff after we started raking in the coin. You wasn't wearing no jewelry that night, though. Nah, I never liked the junk. Necklaces and bracelets are too girly, and earrings are for sailors. Most of the boys don't wear it to the whale anyway. It's too easy to lose or gamble away when they're drunk. And it ain't like a lot of girls show up there neither. Was the sailor that got taken away wearing earrings? Luxie hums thoughtfully. Can't say for sure. The cog he came in on is out at sea too. Reckon it won't be back in port for another 3 days. But you know that Asmund was wearing jewelry. Yeah, but you know that Asmund was wearing jewelry? You sure? Luxie and I exchanged glasses. You think it's the jewelry? I don't know. I need to do some further investigating. In the meantime, will you tell everyone to stop wearing it if they're going to be out late? I'll put the word out, yeah. Luxie exhaled purposely, and I noticed that he has begun to perspire. Anyway, it'll be getting dark soon. I gotta find my cousin at the pot house, but I'll see what I can do. It'll be a huge help. We got those 2 other pouchers, and they're great and all, but they can't be everywhere at once. I understand. We can't be having foxes creeping around during the solstice festival. That's just a recipe for disaster. I don't know why we even bother throwing the fucking thing. It's just a giant headache twice a year. Take it easy, Raider. Luxie heads back into his office and shuts the door behind him. That wasn't so bad. I'd expect the usual interviewee to be more combative, but it was actually pretty helpful. But in the future, they might be less privy to talking to me. I probably won't be able to ask all these questions I want. Well, yeah, he's basically a crook, so yeah, he really does not care. He's just like, you know what? Just do your job, clean this up so I can go back to running my criminal empire, please. But Swordfish! Hold on, this place looks like a Red Lobster. Look at this. Not bad, though. The combined stench of ale, sweat, and smoke hits me like a battering ram, making my eyes water. I scanned the room for Bora and Gregor, but the pot house is packed elbow to elbow with longshoremen and sailors. A number had gathered around some apparatus in the corner, a string dangling from the rafters with its free end tied to a washer. A sailor pulls it towards him. His audience looks on. He releases the washer, sending it towards a nail pounding into a wall. It misses the nail. I'm assuming that's the goal here is to ring it. So the sailor grabs the string and tries again. And again. And again. A half-dozen pairs of eyes follow the string back and forth. Look like it's quite the popular sport. Jorgen! Gregor slaps me hard on the back from behind, giving me a start. He did that on purpose. We got ourselves a table in the corner. Come on. We make our way over, and I take the stool across from the floor. Hey, I'm buying you a drink, Gregor. I should be a little bit more happy about getting drunk. I'm buying you a drink, Gregor informs me. There's a few empty pots on the table already. Most of them are Gregor's in. That's 10. Stop, you only get 10 tries. Give me that. An argument comes bellowing from the corner. You get everything you need from Luxie? Yeah. Why is it so smoky in here? I ask, noticing the long pipes clutching some of the patrons' hands. It's the tobacco. Oh my god, it's another woman! What's the tobacco, I ask, but Gregor's distracted by a passing barmaid. Whatever it is, it smells awful. Olga! Olga bangs an empty pot on the table a few times, but she doesn't seem to hear it over the din. Damn. Anyway, like I was telling Bora here, you really learn to appreciate living outside the sea gate. I can't even imagine going back to our old small house after this. What about your parents? They got sent to a plantation in Estonia years ago. I visit them when I can, but I gotta hitch a ride on the college to do that, so it ain't very often. But the Estlin is better living than the city right now, that's for sure. Planting and harvesting takes like what? A turn of the moon each? And that's probably the only real work they do all year. I would have moved out there with them if I weren't, already squared up with the boys. Doesn't anybody notice that you're missing? Nobody gives a crap about Gregor. Bora asks. If they have, word ain't gotten back to me yet. Braves, thirst, fart, thirst. Probably got it all mixed up and thinks I'm out there with my folks or something. Oh, God, come on! Gregor finally manages to catch the attention of the barmaid and puts out an order for 3 drinks. I wish you could get away with that with these days. Yeah, it's too loud, so just sit there and wait. What are we drinking? I don't know. Whatever Olga gets her hands on. It tastes the same after a few rounds anyway. We're drinking human blood. Fermented human blood. It's been a while since I've had a drink. Years, actually. Dad used to make moonshine in the cottage cellar, but I wouldn't drink it even if he'd let me. The taste brings to mind some degenerate, a downbent freeman, living his life in pursuit of acquiring more of the stuff. Olga returns and sets down 3 pots of black liquid with a thick right head. I decided it's best not to spoil the mood, although the smell of it is somewhat revolting. Well, hey! Way hey! Gregor issues the old Raiders war cry, and Bora and I follow suit, knocking our pots together. It's strong, grainy stuff, like drinking a piece of bread. The heat, its head laps against my upper lips and hangs off the tip of my nose. I run an arm across my mouth, leaving a streak of foam down the length of my sleeve. How's your dad? Gregor asks after suppressing a belch. Yeah, I thought you said your dad's name was Olaf. Gregor and I exchange glances. Well, yeah, Gregor interrupts. No need to be giving Luxie any fake names, Raider. We're the friendly type. Wait, so you're cousins, but Olaf is... By the way, your parents don't mind you staying out at night, bro? Oh no, I stay out all the time. He tries taking a drink to prove his point, but ends up coughing on the stout. Well done, bro. Your manliness has been proven. The door of the pothouse swings open to the complaint of its rusted hinges. There they are. Gregor points to the 2 men adorned with pouches, who pause inside the pothouse's entryway and looks around the place. Noticing me, Bode taps his companion on the shoulder and the pair approaches our table. Bode! The one with the pipe must be Sif, an acre of a man if I ever saw one. Like his companion, Sif's face is covered in scars, not the straight cuts of an old soldier, but the ragged marks where something clawed, bit, or otherwise mauled him. Good evening, Gregor. Sif says in an oddly cultured accent for such an imposing figure. Sif, Bode, evening? Evening, Gregor replies, not getting up. And Bode mutters something further to my cousin but fails to form any coherent words. And you might be? Jorgen. I get up from my stool and find that I stand a full head shorter than him. I do like how everybody just is extraordinarily unique looking in this game. That is fantastic. And I hold a hand out to the Walkerman, but he does not take it, nor even acknowledge the gesture. The 3 of us will hope. I need a really posh accent. Where's Crispinarian when I need him? The 3 of us will hold Congress privately, he says matter-of-factly, on matters of the walking trade. Excuse us. Alright, I agree, taking my pot with me. At the bar, Sif raises 2 fingers at the barman, who sets out some cups for the pair. So, Bode here tells me that you're going to try your hand at walking the nights in Midgard. Bode remains silent, staring at me over the rim of his pot as he takes a dram. That's right, I reply and attempt to lean an elbow on the bar in a relaxed manner. Well, Spill, what do you know so far? I take a moment to collect my thoughts. They've been investigating it for a while now, so they're probably much better informed than I. It can't be seen unless you spill something over it, like blood. Might be attached to jewelry. I try to feign confidence as I talk. I'm not sure if it's working. It likes to lurk inside the main alleyway, the one by the road, until it picks a mark. That's all I've got so far. The pair exchanged glances. I was asking about your experience, in general, with the walking trade. But don't ask Patrick's grave. Just look at the boy. Strolling in town, grabbing the first ostrich he came across by the box. I'm trying to keep up with this accent. This is the thickest accent I think I've heard to date. Bode here is accusing you of incompetency, Civ translates. And I'm inclined to agree that your initiative, the trait of any good tradesman, appears to exceed your current abilities. Circumstances, Raider, given the current circumstances, carefully weighing out both the situation at hand and your professional acumen, and I am not insulting your intelligence, in fact, I do believe that it would benefit you as such in this question, when the wreath you're bearing is a strong wind still favorable. What? Hold on. Oh. I'm pretty sure that's... Apparently someone's messaged me on Discord. Okay. Oh, okay. Thank you very much for passing along the message. Gotta fuck it all to pieces, ain't ya? It's now Bo's turn to translate. I swallow it hard. My cheeks feel like a blacksmith furnace is warming up. Thank you very much for the heads up. It's not I don't believe it's a message of consequence, at least not right now anyway. Never mind, Seth sighs. Look, we'd much prefer it if you go ahead and find yourself another affair. The city-state has plenty of issues to be addressed, and I wouldn't recommend testing your wings against this particular problem. What do you mean all by this particular problem? Wait a minute. I butchered that way more than I probably should have. What do y'all mean by this particular problem? I mean, you're out of your mind if you think this is the one to cut your teeth on. Besides, Bo and I have an arrangement with the Harbor Boys. We'll take care of Svanier's fox problem, as he's so fond of describing it. I take a good look at the pair. Bo is already halfway through his pod. Sif hasn't touched his. The raider scrapes his pipe's mouthpiece along his molars as if meaning to clean them, and stares expectantly. They're trying to con me out, I realize. They probably got some sweetheart deal with Looksy, and they don't want to lose it to me. Sif awaits my response with a rigid posture, his free hand resting on the bar, fingers tapping the wood rhythmically. I don't know why that was so hard. The noise grates. He grates. The coat, the hair, the way he talks, the aura of self-importance, and that humiliating temptation of the author that I might drop this fantasy while I still can and go be a foodstuff vendor or something. Aren't I a damn man yet? Look, I already promised Luxia that I'd take care of it. You are going to break that promise. Nah, I think I'll keep it, I tell him, balling my fist up. Maybe you should leave the man's job to a raider with a man's name. Ooh, wait. I think he went there. Besides, your face looks like it's seen enough beatings for a lifetime. His posture changes slightly for a heartbeat, the corner of his mouth twitching like a snapped lute string. I'd like to see your face this time next year, kid, if you manage to last that long. You know the majority of Walkermen don't survive their first attempt, right? Go on, let that sink in a little. Sif leans over me, and I slide a foot backwards for balance, just in case he decides to give me a shove. You think you can handle this? Go ahead, he says with a shrug. Go get your full self-kill. I don't give a damn, do you? Sif turns to Bode, and the pair shrug at each other in sync as if being puppeteered. It's all yours, kid. I'll just kick back and sit this one out. You can take it from here, Raider. He gives me a sarcastic thumbs up and turns to leave. And dig your grave for sure and give her a try, will you? Yeah. I'm going to get this accent right before the end of the stream. And dig your grave for y'all, give her a try. Yeah? Save us a little fuss. I still completely butchered it. Yay. The bog hopper drains the last of his pot, gives me a sloppy grin, and follows his companion out. I uncurl my fist. A quick glance around the pothouse reveals no noticeable change in its atmosphere. If anyone was eavesdropping on that conversation, they are hiding it well. Get everything you need? Gregor asks as I return to the table. Yeah, we just had ourselves a little introduction. Good. Those two are usually busy around sundown. Glad they found time for you. Yeah, real great stuff. Bor here was just telling me about his family business, Gregor explains, and gives me a sly wink. What's that? Mostly mining and lumber. My dad rents deeds to a lumber mill and 2 platinum mines. They even still pulling up platinum? Not so much since the raid's ended, but we're still renting a deed, you know, just in case. I have a platinum coin in my pouches from back when they thought they could mint it. I pulled the coin to show it to Bor, who chuckles. Yeah, that whole venture didn't last very long, didn't it? Platinum only has value if the person buying it thinks it's silver. It's platinum! Isn't that worth more? You know what, I'm not even going to question it. Hence the name Full Silver, though the term goes further back than some freeman's clan. A few hundred years ago, when Midgard first started this raiding tradition, they say foreigners often mistook our platinum ornaments for silver. This added to a host of other legends about us. It's rumored that the Gothlanders thought the first raids were some form of divine punishment, carried out by legions of silver-sworded furies. And it's just too much of the stuff for it to be valuable, Bor continues. They might as well have tried minting iron. Of course, if platinum was valuable, Midgard's money troubles would be over. We're the only ones sitting on this much of the crap. I imagine that the end of this game is them realizing, hey, if we trade platinum, maybe we'll be able to get out of our depression. Maybe, just maybe, but that might be a little too much to hope for. Bor continues to drone on as Gregor gives me another wink, and I assume my cousin is more interested in Bor's finances than his opinion about the economy. I smile to myself and switch the stout around in my pot, networking. Completely screwed, Gregor slurs. Nah, Bor replies, but my cousin is inconsolable. Once Gotland gets their shit together, we're done for. First they're gonna retake Polska, then they're coming for us. You think Zayapan is gonna do jack shit when a thousand Gotland galleys show up on the horizon? Zaya who? I ask, but my cousin can't hear me. Neither through his stupor nor over the pothouse clamor. They're gonna put us on pikes. That's what they're gonna do, you know? Down south, they're half animal. Night winds on, and one by one the pothouse patrons slump over, strewn across the table and floor, too fearful to risk the walk home. Bor, however, makes it known that he cannot join these men on the floorboards, as he needs to be present at his family's apartment in the morning. This is not going to be good. Jesus, like, I sincerely hope that Bor doesn't die. You gonna be okay getting home? Gregor asked. Yeah, it's no problem. Come on, you can stay with us, I plead, hoping that the Freeman has some common sense and is just acting stubborn. That's alright, I'll be fine. Bror, don't die. Please do not die, Bror. Bror stumbles towards the sea gate in his crooked leg stride, exaggerated by all the posse put away tonight. I suppress the urge to chase after the boy and drag him away from his fool's errand of walking home alone. What's wrong with his legs? My cousin asks after the hatchway shuts behind him. I don't know. Probably the rickets. I reckon we just wouldn't mention it. We sleeping in the pot house? I ask, eyeing the darkened harbor road. Nah, why would we go and do that? I only live like 50 paces away. Come on, I got a bed for you. This is not going to end well. A bench for you, actually. Got a bench in the foyer you can sleep on. I put a bunch of blankets on it when you were talking to Looksy. Oh, the foyer. I tried putting on foyers. My cousin laughs as we meander off towards his place, one drunken step after the other, with Gregor jiggling the coins in his pocket along the way. And I began, wanting to probe further about Sif and Bose. But something goes bump in the alleyway. Hastily, I draw a semicircle over my heart. A quick glance in that direction reveals the shadow of something huge and gnarled twisting out from the alley's maw. Okay, we're going back inside that bar. Good. Look at that. That is creepy. Oh my god. Okay, I'm taken aback by the realization that cash meats, massive in their size, are curled around the harbor residences. Yeah? Gregor asked suddenly, his eyes set dead ahead, a purposeful stare as if it were a grim duty for him to ignore it all. He's walking quickly now, and I force a jog in order to keep pace with him. Why do we do this? Why do we raiders always try to pretend? And why didn't we just sleep in a damn pot house? We're gonna get our dumbasses killed. We're running now! Run faster! And my cousin still has his hands stuffed in his pockets, all with an air of the nonchalant. It'd be a comedy if I didn't fear for my life. Gregor shows his stride again as we reach the boardwalk. I linger behind to watch the road and strain to listen over the sound of our heavy breathing. Nothing. Probably nothing. And after a moment's hesitation, I go searching for my cousin on the pier. He's not easy to miss, my cousin. The great black form of Gregor's silhouette is cast against the night sky, while lights set a twinkling off his hair and shoulders as if he'd been staked out by a constellation of his own. I join him on the sea-soaked boardwalk, and though we're only a few paces from his cottage, we'll linger here and stare out at the great heaving nothingness ahead. The rhythm of lapping waves is made loud by the sight of night, and the pallid image of a scalped and waning moon wavers over their surges. I find myself wondering how long we'll need to wait here before Gregor feels that he's proven whatever it is he gets out of this charade. So, what were you saying? He asked after some time. Why do you call him Looksy? I reply, realizing that I've forgotten my earlier question. Gregor passes a hand through the air like a poet, and I half expect him to invoke the maiden as his muse. Back when the guard corps pulled their boots out of the harbor, they've got real hairy between us and the docksmen. The docksmen were the other boys, you know. So one night we were going over to their place, me and like 10 other boys, to finish them once and for all. We were going to light the place. Gregor issues a tiny burp to punctuate the end of the sentence. Because Osmond said they post in watches at night, but we wanted to make sure all their higher-ups were in there first. So Svenir, back when he had 2 eyes, went around and started peeking in through all the windows, to see if they were all still in there. First window, nothing happened. Second window, nothing. Then he starts creeping back to the 4th window, which was higher up, so he had to get a box to stand on. My cousin's hands begin to take on a life of their own, gesturing fervently in pantomime. He pushes this crate up to the window to get on top of it, Gregor exclaimed, dropping in a half squat, wrestling with an invisible box. Only they must have heard him. Because as soon as he gets up there and takes a peek, bam! Gregor smacks his fist into his other palm. And then he dramatically staggers backwards, burying his face in his hands. Crossbow bolt hit him right below the eye, really tore him up good. if it hadn't punched through that window first, it probably would have killed him. We started calling him Looksy after the barber said he weren't going to die. Wound weren't turning green. My inflection is off. I'm going to try that again. We started calling him Looksy after the barber said he weren't going to die. Wound weren't turning green. Gregor exhales heavily, and I must admit that I'm a little exhausted too, just from watching the retelling. It could have made a fine thespian, that Gregor. My cousin Maya seems to leave for somewhere else. He puts his hand up as if he's in a scrap and starts ducking and weaving. After bounding under an invisible swing, he throws an uppercut out into nothing and shuffles backwards again, flinching as if he's taking gut shots. But we got him that night anyway, as Gregor recalls, breathing regularly as he hooks and jabs. Through torches through the windows, a couple of docs made it out the front door, while we caught him with crossbows of our own. The harbor got real hairy for the next 2 days, pretty much constant fighting, but we already gotten a drop on them. Ain't much they could do. And after that, the boys been running the harbor uncontested. A gust plays across the pier, cool and inviting in the midsummer night's air. My cousin's footwork is made sloppy from his drinking, and it somehow makes it all the more nostalgic as if I were sitting on that broken table in the old alleyway again, watching him swing a stick at his imaginary gauntlets. He attempts a roundhouse kick and lands on his back with a thud. Gregor? I ask after a while, hoping he hadn't knocked himself out. My cousin dusts off his pants. Dusts his pants off after he rises. Yeah. Y'all got crossbows? He turns his head and spits into the water. I'll tell you one good thing about Gotland. They make a lot of weapons, and they ain't stingy about who they sell them to. Okay, we're safe. Good. The wooden bench has a few blankets on it and some kind of animal pelt. What you got this for? I feel the fur between my thumb and fingers. That's a genuine bear skin. I got it for cheap because it's rotted out. The tanner or stuffer, or whatever they call them, screwed it up. Reckon I'd get it made into a coat or something, but I never really got around to it. I slip out my boots and place them next to the makeshift bed, getting a good whiff of my stinking feet in the process. Take a bath, man! Blisters run along the undersides of my toes and heels. They're annoying, but not enough to make walking unbearable. My ankle, too, is still a little sore from last night. Last night, I remember it with a wince. I've got to try harder to forget. Push it further down. You feeling all right? Yeah, this'll do fine. Thanks, Gregor. No problem. See you in the morning. Gregor shuts the door gently behind him as he disappears into his bedroom. I toss my shirt and pouches on the top of my gear and lie down on the bench. It's too warm to get under the covers, and so I lay on top of them and stare off into space. My conversation with Sif weighs heavily on my mind. When am I going to start screwing everything up? I wonder, and turn over a few times, trying to find a comfortable position on the bench. On a whim, I get up and tiptoe around the room to push on the door a few times, making sure it's sealed tight. And then there was a loud snort from the other room, followed by a steady pattern of snores. Gregor is a snorer, I remember with a groan. So I lay back down on the bench to try and shut out the noise, pressing one ear flat against the covers and muffling the other with my hand. And I soon succumbed to the pots. Alright. We're actually going to cut it here, because I do have a few more things to take care of tonight, which is why I started a little early. More than likely, we may have something special for you, the club, as we like to call ourselves. The club may have a little something special for you guys Friday. Saturday night, if Try isn't streaming, I'll be streaming, because I don't want to contest with him, and I got something to do Saturday morning. And my hope is that Monday I'll be back at the regular time, 10. I had to do it at 9 tonight because I had a bunch of work I had to do, and my job this morning wore me out to the point where I came home and was like, okay, I'm taking a nap right now, and that kind of got me. But hopefully the next stream will be its regular length. I like to go at least an hour and a half, 2 hours. So and I've got a few more videos I'm cooking up. I'm working on a sample of what I want to do for what I want to do for the site for our Patreon once we hit our what I like to call stage 2 goals. So I'll be working on that tonight as well, and hopefully I'll have that up for you sometime this weekend. If not, it'll be up next week. Anyway, thank you guys for coming out. I appreciate your support, and yeah, like, subscribe, all those good things, and we will be back when we're back. Just keep an eye on the subscription list and Twitter and all the good handles, and I will see you guys next time. Take care.